Aim9guy here in my studio with a look at my Wessex HU5. This is the 148 scale kit from Metallery. This was supposed to be a quick build that took a year to complete. We all have kits that we purchase with the intent to just bang them out, not sweat the details, but sometimes before you know it, we drag on a bit too long and other kits get our attention. That was the case with this one. It's not a bad kit. I think the problem I ran into was I set a ridiculous deadline for myself, and when that date came and went, so did my enthusiasm. Sound familiar? There are a lot of reasons we shelf kits, probably as many reasons as the kits we own, but there's nothing like picking one up, dusting it off, getting the spark back, and seeing it through. This one rewarded my efforts. Not a perfect kit, but a fun and interesting addition to the collection. Let's take a look at it. Like most helicopter kits, this one started with the cockpit and the cabin. I ran into a little trouble when I lost the nice photo-etched console that came with it. I think I threw away the tape that it was stuck to when I painted it. I ended up making another one from sheet styrene that I punched the dials out of, and ended up with a console that had some dimension to it, which you wouldn't have gotten with just the little photo-etched flat piece. Here I started adding some of the scratches and worn areas on the foot plates where the pilot's feet would rest while they're flying. This is just done with a soft pencil. So here's the cockpit and cabin assembly put together. Just showing an abbreviated version of the build here, just so we can focus on some points. As you can see, it's nicely detailed. You got the canvas seats in the cabin area, and then the pilot and co-pilot seats have photo etch buckles and straps and that kind of thing on there. Here I'm just detailing those buckle details with a little silver paint. The center console has been dry brushed, and there's a little bit of weathering that's been done to the seat cushions and that kind of thing. Here I'm adding a little bit of the silver color in the foot plates, show some abrasion, a little bit of highlights and stuff. I don't think any of this is visible once it's all put together, but at the time it was a nice effect. Okay, now I'm using AK's dust and dirt deposits. This is an enamel weathering product. Basically you put it on, let it dry a little bit, and then go back with some of their odorless thinner and just start to dissolve away the portions that you don't want to leave behind. And as you can see, it's just I did this in a number of layers just to kind of build up to show dust collecting around the details of the floor. Most of this is hard to see from the side door when the kit's complete, but there's just enough of it to give the suggestion of dirt inside that cabin. I think the effect turned out pretty nice. The colors I use for the interior are mainly Tamiya colors. I didn't remember the specifics for this particular one, but you airbrush the Tamiya paints and then sealed both the cabin area and the cockpit area with a satin varnish, so that when I applied the enamel weathering effects later, none of that would eat through it. Here you can see where some of that product is already dried, and now I'm using a damp brush to go back and start to lift some of those deposits away. When the brush leaves the screen, that's where me dabbing it off on a little tissue or rag and coming back with a little more damp brush to start rubbing away the dust that I don't want to leave behind. It's a fun little effect, really captures the look of dust collecting around details, and I had fun doing this part. Here I've saturated the floor with some of that thinner to kind of soften up the enamel weathering effects, and then I'll come back with the brush to start removing the excess. You can start rubbing right away on it, or you can let it sit for a moment and then come in and start to rub against those panel details and lift some of that dust effect up. The key here is not to get in a big hurry. Take your time and just let the effect kind of dry and start to become chalky in front of you, and then you can kind of take it from there. And here's the finished result. I appreciate you following along on this build with the interior painting and weathering. Part 2 will pick up where I left off a year ago, and we'll add the camo paint, panel washes, and weathering. Leave a comment if you like, and as always, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.